Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sports.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
What's up, man?
What up?
Oh man, we've arrived today, so that we have definitely arrived today.
Yeah, I don't even know if we deserve those horns.
Absolutely,
maybe we deserve.
Absolutely,
maybe we deserve them, but technology didn't deserve them. I don't know.
No, it's all good. It's all good. When you're a two-man show, you get what you get. So if anybody wants to join the Off the Record show, as far as the technical crew, we're definitely recruiting, because definitely trying to do everything by ourselves. Ain't really working like it should work. But hey,
today's been a struggle. Like even my sound, your sound, my picture, your picture, it just sounds like crazy. But
hey man, we got all this high tech equipment, man. We're just learning how to use it. So it's part of 2021. Invest in yourself.
Those are the words. Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
We're going. Huh?
So that's been the motto for everybody this year, man. Invest in yourself. Put more into your stuff. You know what I mean? Most of us, we're out here making money for other people, so it's time to bet on ourselves. So definitely the motto of the year. So anyway, man, what's been going on, man?
Nothing. Sports and and basketball and football. So the All-Star break is coming up soon. And they announced the of course they announced the All-Stars. They also announced the dunk contest and the skills competition and the 3-point contest. That's all gonna happen on the same day. And I know we talked about it a little bit before, but what are your thoughts on them doing everything on the same day?
I think it's garbage. I mean, I get where they're coming from, and I get why they're doing it. It's just a bit much, man. It's a bit much. You're talking about having the dunk contest is during halftime, right? That is one long layover. A dunk contest normally goes an hour and 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fluff in the dunk. I think there's only 2 guys now, right? So it's only 2 guys. So it's only like a final round. So. Yeah, and I think in the 3-point there's only 2 guys or 4 guys. There's 4 guys, and it's for the 3-point contest, but that's a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, I get what they're trying to do, and I'm not going to downplay it a little bit. I guess they're deserving of having the All-Star game. I just think this year with everything that's going on, until they can do it right, it might have been a better idea to just scrap it and then bring it all back when you got the fans, and because that's what the All-Star game is about. It's about more so the fan experience, and for the players too. It's a time for them to actually hang out with each other, see each other outside of being teammates or playing against each other, and just really just having a good time, off the court. So without them really being able to do like all the all-star activities and all the all-star parties and just everybody being able to...
Yeah, so it's only like a final round. Yeah, and so Well, I disagree in a sense because they are, raising money for HBCUs, and I think that each event is supposed to be raising it's supposed to be raising money. So I don't think that they should have scrapped it. I think that it's a good idea. Um,
Okay, so
I just
let's go
it
there.
just it just, feel, it just feels rushed.
Let me ask you that. Okay, and that's where I will agree with you is could it have been executed better? Maybe it's not a bad idea, and like you said, they're giving money away to raising for black colleges, but could it have been executed a lot better? It is more the question I have for you. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, we've praised the NBA, ever since they did the bubble and how that worked out. So yeah, I mean, they probably could have executed it a little better. Um, but for the time that first of all, it wasn't supposed to be an All Star break or All Star game. They probably should have just left that, and I get it, but in the time that they've done what they've done, they they probably could have done a better job as far as and we don't know because we haven't seen it yet, but they probably could have done a better job of it the way it was presented. Because right now it seems like all right, we're gonna do all of these things, and everything's supposed to start at 8 o'clock. So I'm interested to see how they pull this off. They're gonna be there till 1 o'clock in the morning.
So let me ask you this: when you look at the
Mhm.
All Star Weekend, out of the Rising Stars game, the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, and the All Star game, what is your favorite event? Like, what do you tune into All Star Weekend to like pay attention to? What's your main event that you look forward
Oh,
to seeing?
it's the dunk contest and the 3-point contest.
I would have to agree. So why not just keep it how it is, to where they name the starters for each side, name the teams, maybe not play the game, and just have the dunk contest, the 3-point contest, and the Rising Stars Challenge, and do
So
that
just
all in a day.
just have all so just have All Star have everything except for All Star.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't agree with that. That'd be a waste. I mean, the main event is the All Star game. So if anything, just do the All Star game and leave the everything else out. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you don't have All Star Weekend without an All Star game. I disagree with that.
Okay, so go the other way. Just have the All Star game. Don't mess with the other
Mhm.
stuff, and then bring it all back next year when you could properly execute it. But I just don't like one day. I think if they're going to do the weekend, and just leave it at that.
So I get that, and if uh, if we're talking just the game, then yeah. I really don't mind one day. I'm really interested to see how this is pulled off. Really, I really want to see how this is pulled off because it's a time thing too, and they're starting at 8 o'clock. It's not even like they're starting earlier. They're starting like at their regular time. So this is going to be interesting. I hope that they find a way to push it up some because do they have limited commercial breaks? I know the All Star game the last couple of years, the fourth quarter. Well, last year was the start of it with the fourth quarter. They didn't have any commercials. It was just the fourth quarter.
So let me ask you this, right? Speaking of the dunk contest, I want to go a little bit off script because you didn't know that I was going to ask you this. Who are your top 5 dunkers of all time?
Oh, I really didn't think he was going to ask me that. My top 5 dunkers of all time. So you have You have MJ.
Okay,
You have Dominique.
so all right, let me ask you before you, is this in any particular order or this is just five?
This is not in an order.
Okay.
You didn't ask me for order.
Okay.
You asked me
No,
for
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
All right, so I got Jordan, Dominique. I got Vince Carter. I mean, you got somebody new like a Zach Levine. Um, mm, mm. How many is that? That's four.
That's four.
And man, oh man, oh man. I guess you have to go Jason Richardson, but I mean, you could put McGrady in. I wouldn't put McGrady in there.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll go with Jason.
Hey, McGrady was a bad boy though.
He was, but I wouldn't put him with the top dunkers.
Do you put Aaron?
But he was bad. But I mean, like saying, I mean, I know him and Vince Carter and Steve Francis put on the show, but that all in all that dunk contest was a blowout. It wasn't even, nobody. You never see the highlights of the other dunks other than Vince Carter's dunks.
So I take Jay Rich off and I put in Blake Griffin. Honorable mention.
The fact that he doesn't dunk anymore is.
And we'll talk about that a little bit too. Shoot, let's get into it. Blake Griffin. Right now, he's averaging 12 points with Detroit. Do you think he's washed, or can he help anybody? Can he help somebody win?
He definitely can help people win. I think in Detroit, he's just in a sunken place, and he's not playing right now. They sitting him.
Right.
They're not letting him play. I think they should just buy him out and let him go on about his business. But Blake Griffin is definitely going to help a team on a playoff run. Don't be surprised if that playoff team is Utah.
That's a good fit. That's a good fit for him. I think right now the NBA is just played different than when he came up. Like you said, he can't jump anymore, and you can't really trust his shot. It's too inconsistent. And he never really was a good defender. He's gotten worse with his defense over the past years, but I still think maybe in a bench role, a sixth or seventh man, he can come off. He can come off the bench and.
Wait, you say he can't? You said he can't jump anymore?
He doesn't have the explosion that he once had.
I want to see him in a different uniform and then judge that. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think we might have a James Harden in Houston type situation happening right now.
No, I don't think so. I think Blake's game just never evolved like it needed to. I think he needed to be able to establish some sort of jump shot. And like I said, I mean, he could shoot, but it's not consistent or reliable enough. He never really established post game, which that's never been his strength. I think he can come off, he can make a difference, but I just don't see the same Blake Griffin that we got accustomed to. And in all fairness, he's battled some injuries the last 2 or 3 years. But I think he's a far cry from the 2017, 2018 Blake Griffin that first went to Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I am off of that Detroit train. I got my money back. I was able to get my money back. So all right. So I know we started a little late, and we do need to get to the winner. So let's get to the winner of the week before we get to like our main topic, because I think that I don't know who your winner of the week is this week, but I'm almost certain that I have an idea. Oh, let me stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I do have a question for you, Scotty.
Okay.
I do have a question. Do you think? Do you think that um and this is just a question to think about before we continue. Um, do you think that there's any way that the Lakers will find a way to not win the championship? 'Cause I think we both picked the Lakers, right?
It's tough because once everybody gets healthy, I still see them as the team to beat. We still got a lot of season left. Anthony Davis probably has maybe 2 or 3 weeks left. I know his initial report was for him to be out a month. I know LeBron James is going to rest tonight, but I think they're going to get one other piece. And I think once everybody is healthy, we'll be able to assess that.
All right. I mean, because I do feel like I don't want to get nervous, but I'm starting to get nervous
Well,
about the Lakers.
Well, I mean, truth be told, I mean, Anthony Davis is a vital part of that team. Outside of, and we've talked about this, and everybody, I got beat up last year when I said it. I mean, Anthony Davis and LeBron James is what makes that. Yes, they have a solid supporting cast, but you need those two guys. You need both of them, and without one of them, it becomes an average team. I mean, as great as LeBron is, he can't do it by himself. The way the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference is, it's just way too competitive. Now there's some really good teams, and he's not going to be able to shoulder the load by himself. But I think once he gets Anthony Davis back, they'll go back to being the Lakers that we know.
Do you think that they make a move before all is said and done?
Absolutely. I think they make a move. I think right now, the way that that Laker team is constructed, they probably feel like they need to make a move. I think other teams are going to make a move. I mean, the trade deadline is coming up, and there's some attractive names out there. I mean, you've got Al Horford, who's out there. I think the team is going to make a move for him. We've been talking about Andre Drummond for weeks. At some point, some team is going to make a play for him. Just the problem with him is his contract. A lot of people or a lot of teams don't place value in his contract. I mean, he's going to make $28 million a year, and although he's a walking double double, I think a lot of people for $28 million they want to see more out of him. And that's a huge investment. So I think a lot of teams.
Uh,
Go ahead.
no. I was just saying. I mean, shoot. There's a lot of people that's worse than him that's making more.
Yeah, but I think what you get, and everybody knows, you're going to get somebody that can run the floor. He is a beast rebounder. He might be, I don't want to say he's the best, but he's up there as the best in the NBA right now with rebounding. But he is not the offensive presence that you may need at $28 million. And I mean, he's got a contract. I believe he signed his contract, that was 2 years ago. So he's got some years that if you make a move and you try to get him, you've got to pay for the future with that guy. Um, a lot of people have said that he's sort of like a Rudy Gobert. He doesn't play as strong as defense. So not like Andre Drummond. I'm just thinking, if I'm a team, do I blow it up a little bit and give up some assets to get him? I think me and you both are in agreement that the Wizards, maybe they're in a position where they can give up some draft picks, and I think that he can be vital to that team as they go on their playoff push.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Andre Drummond.
but
I said Andre Drummond is going to be he's going to whoever he goes to is probably going to end up possibly being a favorite.
yeah, I mean, he's out there. But if I'm looking at it right, so let's say I'm the Lakers, right? And yeah, they could make a play for him. I don't know how they would make that money work, but is it a better option to go with Al Horford? Do you kick the tires on Blake Griffin and bring him back to LA and see if he can come off the bench a little bit more? There's some pieces out there. It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. I think eventually, well, not even eventually, but next coming weeks, I feel like Blake Griffin, Al Horford, and Andre Drummond will all be moved and be in different uniforms, and it'll change the landscape of the playoffs a little bit.
All right, so yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it.
I thought you was bringing the music in. All right, you got to
I
bring
was, I,
it.
was trying to. I was trying to. I don't know what happened.
You ain't got to bring it in, yo. You ain't got to bring it in, man.
Yeah, just go ahead. Just go ahead.
My winner of the week this week is Greg McDermott. If you don't know who that is Doug McDermott's father, coach for Creighton. So he was in the locker room and he was trying to inspire his guys, and he said that he needs everybody to stand with him. He needs everybody to stay back at the plantation. And I thought that was probably the worst analogy that a coach can make for getting his players to commit and to be all in. Like, what does staying at the plantation mean? And it was just stupid. And I think anybody listening can agree that is definitely the winner of the week. Like, what was he thinking, man? Man, I need you all there, man. I need you to stay at the plantation. Like what the heck, man? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I had a feeling that's where you were going. And
how could I not? How could I not go there?
Yeah. Man, that has to be by far the dumbest thing that you could possibly say. Talk about not reading the room. like man, I don't think he's gonna get fired. But I do think that he should face some sort of penalty. Whether it's suspension for a couple games or a game or so. Like, I know the tournament is about to start. And he something needs to happen. What it is at this moment right now, I don't know. But it should be maybe a game or two suspension or a fine, something. He can't just get a slap on the wrist for this one. And I don't, because we've seen people get fired and whatever for much worse. So I believe that something does need to happen.
Yeah, I don't think he should lose his job over. I'm good with a fine, maybe a game suspension. I really don't think that he really meant anything by it. I just think it was just a stupid comment that he didn't think about. I mean, he just literally was not thinking, and it was just irresponsible. So I'm good with a fine, but definitely for that stupid comment, he is my winner of the week.
You know who I thought you was going to give it to initially?
Who's that?
The governor of Texas. I know it's not really. I mean, man. It's not sports related, but it does have something to do with sports. And if you don't know, the governor of Texas has decided to ultimately lift the mask mandate and pretty much open the whole state of Texas up 100%. And I could not believe what I was reading when I saw that. I said that he is a walking idiot because it doesn't make any sense because there are actually people still dying from COVID. And yes, there are people that's getting the vaccine and everything, and we've thought about getting the vaccine and all of that. But with that being said, you know, I don't think that's the smartest thing to do. Now, you know, he did say, you know, people should still take the precautions and things like that. But you ultimately, you know, giving people free reign to not take precautions. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is by far the most idiotic thing that one person could do at this moment.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. I mean we're not out the clear. I mean we're not in the clear with COVID. I know the vaccine is out and people are taking it and stuff like that, but it's still a lot of people that have to take the vaccine, and it's still, to your point, a lot of people dying. What I thought you were about to bring up, and I just want to shout out all the players at the University of Texas. You know, basketball, football, you know, everybody that is not standing for the Texas song, fight song, yeah, the refusal to sing it. I stand with them. It's a lot of angry fans out there that sending a lot of hate mail and thinking that the players should be disciplined. And I just, good for them. Good for them for out something to stand for and just sticking to their guns. It's just crazy that people are just that enraged that people don't want to sing a racist song that has a racist undertone to it. It's sort of like the thing. Did you hear about the Dr. Seuss books?
Yeah.
Who would have thought, right?
That is crazy, yo. Man. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening right now.
Right.
Dr. Seuss, you're racist.
So somebody wanted to ask you, all right, so James Harden, he's returning tonight, right? He's returning to Houston for the first time. Do you think the fans should boo him or they should be appreciative of
him? If that's a tough one, man, because I think they should do what they feel. But if I personally wouldn't boo him. I think that he's done a lot for that city and a lot for that franchise. But we're still talking about Texas, and it doesn't matter. You know, it's Texas. I personally don't think that they should boo him because, I mean, he did a lot for that franchise, like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking an MVP in his 8 seasons, 3-time scoring champ. I believe he might have been an All-Star every year that he was there.
He was.
People can say what they want to say about his playoff performance, but I believe they were there every time he was there. He's done a lot for that franchise. I mean, outside of Akeem Olajuwon, I mean, who else has done more for it? It may be Yao Ming, but I think he's done more to Yao Ming for that franchise. So I think that they should applaud him, they should appreciate him, and they should retire his jersey. Now, it's a little bit too soon. I think the way that he left probably left a sour taste in most fans' mouth. But I mean, the guy gave it his all until this season.
Yep. And and that's all you can ask, right?
Right.
I think the way he went out, it's still fresh. So I would anticipate boos. I would definitely anticipate boos, and I really want to see what the Rockets are going to do in regards to the fans, and would they allow you know max capacity. But in regards to James Harden, I think that he's expecting boos. If someone was to ask him was he expecting boos, I'm almost certain that he would say yes.
So I think today's going to be a good game, right? So I think James Harden is going to go out there and put on the show. But I wouldn't be surprised if John Wall and some of the other guys, they got something to prove. They should be playing with a chip on their shoulder tonight. Will they? I don't know. The Houston Rockets, I don't want to say
Are
that.
terrible.
Yeah, I don't want to say they're the biggest disappointment because I'm sure if we thought about it a little bit more, we can find some teams that have been a disappointment this season. But they've been pretty disappointing. I was expecting more. I think John Wall's been consistent. And I think we talked about it a little bit last week. It's just hard to get all of them on the court at the same time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they've just been hurt a lot, and I think that's been disappointing. I think they've got the names, and I would have thought they had enough to at least get to the playoffs, but it looks like James Harden was right.
Yeah, they're one of the worst teams in the league right now. It's unfortunate, man. It really is. So it's something I've been thinking about the last few weeks. We watch TV and everything, and like these networks, like you have the ESPNs, you have the Fox Sports ones, and things of that nature. And one of the things that's been rather disturbing is that the lack of coverage for certain things. And I wouldn't even say lack of coverage for certain things. The continuous coverage of the same two or three topics every single day. If it's not Dak's contract, it's about LeBron James in LA and something like that, or Kyrie Irving, whatever. There's no expansion to the different stories, and there's a ton of things that people can talk about. But my gosh, it's just been. If I hear one more thing about Dak's contract, where you get the coldest of takes, and then they're trying to create a narrative of Dak should be traded, and it's like some of those things just don't make any sense. And I know they have a machine behind them, but my God, they need to expand what they're talking about, man, because it kind of gets like tiresome. It's like, Lord, here we go talking about this again. We're talking about Dak's contract again. It's like I'm even a Cowboys fan and tired of hearing about that.
Like you said, it's the only thing to talk about right now is Dak's contract. I mean, I was looking, and they were talking about Sam Darnold being out with the Jets, and it's just kind of like, dang, why are we talking about Sam Darnold? And just the Dak thing is interesting. I think what makes it interesting, but I do feel like the Cowboys will get it done. They have to. But I think a lot of people are seeing the Kirk Cousins scenario. And hopefully the Cowboys are able to get it done. I think they will break the bank and they will pay him. They've invested too much in that to just let him walk out the door. But you're right. We have drug that story on way too long.
Yeah, man. And so, I mean, that was my biggest thing. It's just like, there are other things. There are a ton of free agents this year. There are like the receiving core. I mean, the receivers that are free agents this year. And then you add in the receivers that are going to be in a draft. It's like, man, like open it up a little bit.
Right.
It's just
Absolutely.
So I know we about to get we're gonna do like an abbreviated version of off the record today, but it's something that I did want to show you. Again, we've been having like technical difficulties all day, and I'm hoping that this works. I'm hoping that it works. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. Jesus Christ. Nope. I ain't got it, Scott. I don't know what's happening today. This is crazy.
It happens. It happens.
It's like it's actually something for you. I want you to see, and this is frustrating me right now. But again, that's why we're here. We'll figure it out, and again, we'll I'm trying, y'all. But I don't know. But this is off. Oh, are we done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I thought we were done, but all right, this is off the record. I'm so hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Speak amongst yourself, people. Yo, this joint is not working. Ain't that something, Scott?
Yeah, man.
But I mean, it is what it is. We'll work it out eventually, and maybe next week I could show you. But this is off the record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B.
I guess we out. The music not even playing. I don't know what's happening. This is crazy.
Nah, we still.
We don't got no. I know we ain't got no intro. I mean, we had an intro, but we ain't got no outro.
Yo,
and
we got.
But
we got to get rid. Yeah,
we out.
This.
We out.